Everybody, welcome back to a Sunday night conversation with Jarrett.
That's me.
And Gatlin.
That's him.
Is it?
As far as I know.
Well, this is our second one of these. Last week, we got to introduce y'all to this new kind of format we're wanting to introduce and bring to y'all every Sunday evening. And this week, and I think we did a good job last week, don't you?
I enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Just sit down and talk and get to go through a subject and really get kind of in depth on it.
Exactly. And now, this week, we have some other stuff we want to talk about. A lot's happened since...
Yeah, there's been a lot happening.
A lot's happened in the world since last week.
A lot of controversy.
And a lot's in our lives.
Yeah.
Like, I went to Phoenix this week. I was doing other stuff. Like,
You didn't burn up out there?
I did.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
You got a little...
Flew in, flew out. But that's neither here nor there.
Good.
That doesn't pertain to what we're trying to do.
I did not fly anywhere this week.
You worked.
I worked.
He worked hard. Delivering y'all's packages.
Yes. If you got a package this week, you're welcome.
And thank your gate barts out there. Well, this week, we wanted to talk to you all about community. Because that's a huge part about our lives. We grew up in small towns, small communities, and they helped shape us into who we are today. And we feel like with what's been going on this week, especially, I don't know if you all have seen the news going on with Jason Aldean.
Wait, what?
You didn't know about this? I mean, I don't watch the news. I read my...
Oh, yeah, you get on your phone?
Yeah, you watch the news?
I don't have time.
Granny watches the news, and
Granny doesn't turn the news off.
she informed us of all this going on, but his song "Try That in a Small Town" has became controversial this week because of the lyrics in there and what it's about, what it pertains to. And we happened to make a video about it this week, if you all saw.
He fiddled around and found out.
Try that in a small town.
And we just felt like it was important to talk about why community is so important in how you have a really good society.
Oh yeah, it's what holds society together. It's like the most, besides your family, it's like the next step up of what keeps us all together.
There's got to be some sort of, like we mentioned last week, a rule of law.
Yeah.
And having community keeps that structure, and then that foundation of that community, there's usually religion involved. There's usually some sort of governance, self-governance, and there's usually, honestly, families are involved in that too.
The most, like the smallest, what's the word I'm looking for?
Not
something that's like
commune.
close to you.
That's a community.
It's the closest
Not a cult.
It's like the smallest form of government is your family government.
Yes.
And then the next up is your community.
Exactly. And that's ultimately what it's all about. And that's why it's so special. But usually when you have all those together working, you usually have not a utopia, but you have...
peace. At least peace. Yeah, that's all you want.
Well, why don't we just go ahead and tell the people we found a verse that we thought pertained to this subject. And what'd you find this week from Romans?
This is from the book of Romans, chapter 12. It says, "Live in harmony with each other. Don't be too proud to enjoy the company of ordinary people, and don't think you know it all."
I mean, that sounds like that.
But I thought I did know it all.
No, you don't.
I guess I don't know it all.
According
to God, I don't know it all.
That sounds like the mission statement of every community, every town, every city, every suburb should try to live by. And there's nothing in there that's too controversial about it. That doesn't even say anything about Jesus or heaven or anything in there. No. That literally just says
live in harmony with each other.
Live in harmony with each other. And again, back to referencing everything that's been going on this week in reference to the Jason Aldean issue, that song basically just talks about that.
Yeah.
How, like, if you try that in a small town, that won't work, because when you're living in harmony and you have peace.
Yeah, that disrupts the harmony and peace that's in town. And a lot of that don't fly in a small town.
No, sir. I mean, we know.
Yeah. That's kind of what our video is about.
Exactly. Exactly. And it won't fly on the farm, won't fly with people who have some sort of sense of, governance.
Yeah, they have their stuff together. They're not going to let somebody come in and stomp all over them. You know what I mean? That happens too much, and then honestly, our government lets it happen too often. That's why you need some form of government. You can't be a total anarchist, Not Antichrist, anarchist.
Anarchy. It reminds me like Ricky Bobby. The kids come running on. I don't even know what that word means, but I love it.
Then you get the water hose and
he sprays
the guy in the window.
And the grandma comes out. It reminds me a lot of our videos.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just need a good, strong grandma to come in and lay down the law. That's what we learned from Talladega Nights. That was the moral of the story.
And if you ain't first,
you're last.
You're last.
Exactly.
What I'm talking about? That phrase, trademark, not to use it as a position to Ricky Bobby.
well, that's what, like, ultimately, when it comes to just everything we like to try to do in our videos, we talk about, you know, the best examples of these things. And if we can show the example of what a good community would look like when it's just from our farm perspective, that's our goal every week, along with doing, you know, spreading what we talk about every week, God, family, country. Share the word every Sunday, show our family way of life, and show that we're proud to be Americans. And right now, I think a thing we're missing in America too is that sense of community, that sense of, you know, not being divided but being united. And ultimately, if you really sit back and look at it, they're trying to keep us divided because the country is not as strong when we're all not living in harmony.
Exactly. Yeah, people need to be proud of where they came from and the communities that they live in, and I think you need to, like, do what you can in your community, and then that when you start, like Jordan Peterson says, to make your bed, you know, you start in your house, in your community, that'll spread throughout the rest of the country and the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Like, you start at a small scale, and that's how you build up something bigger that really expands on the whole place. Gets better if you do your little part of your little corner of the world. You take care of it. It helps the whole world out.
It's like planting that seed in the garden.
Yeah.
You take care of your little seed and everything. It grows out and it makes this beautiful plant. And you can see all these different the things that come from in the stems and all, and like that's basically what can happen to a community. A community can affect its not just the state, its county, or it can affect not just the town. The county can affect the state. The state can affect the country. The country could affect the world.
Oh yeah.
And it all starts at home.
You got to start in your backyard. Yeah.
Start in the house. Yep. And I think ultimately we have stronger families. That sense of community we going back to talk to about the front. That's when you get that strong community.
Yeah, you got to have responsibility for your actions and the things that you do in your neck of the woods, wherever you're from, wherever you're at. You take responsibility. I'm gonna keep my house looking good. I'm gonna keep my neighborhood looking good. I'm gonna protect those around me. You know, I'm gonna do what I can where I'm at, and that's all one person really can do to help change the whole world, honestly.
Yeah, because you don't know who's watching you do that, and that example you're setting, your kids, the next generation, that ultimately could be where we change everything. Yeah. So I think this week's topic about community, I think we hit it at home where it really does start, is in the home. Exactly. In the family. And going back to what we were talking about last week about being a best man, being that example, women, the same thing is like, it all starts in the house. With the nuclear family, with just the family model in general, you make a stronger community with that family being strong. And with that strong community, you make a world that's worth living in, and a country that's worth living in, and a united country. And the stronger we are being united, we will never fall.
Yeah. The United States of America needs to be united.
United again. That's why it's called the United States. We're in this thing together. Let's figure it out. Let's get it right.
There's one thing I like is we're supposed to be a more perfect union. Not a perfect union, because that's going to be impossible.
It's the pursuit of happiness.
It's the pursuit of happiness. Yeah, a more perfect union. We are on a trajectory somewhere. We can't turn that trajectory around. We need to keep going towards the ultimate end goal is perfection, but I don't think we'll ever reach that. We're humans. We're flawed. Yeah. But our goal is to keep trying towards that.
Yeah, and you know, somebody this week mentioned that, and I don't want to bombard or go over what we're talking about, but I believe a guy we listen to a lot and probably get warnings or something saying this week. Andy Frischilla says this. He said, you know, I don't believe in the term saying "make America great again" because it never was truly great. We've always been in pursuit of making it great. We should go at let's make America the greatest it's ever been. Yeah. And that should be the approach. And I think that's the approach we should take in our community, in our homes, with our faith. Let's make it the greatest version it's ever been, that we've ever had, ever seen. Because if you always take that approach towards stuff, like I want to be the best version, you'll never be satisfied with the version you're at. And
you just keep going.
And that's what you're talking about is a more perfect union, striving for the pursuit of happiness, because ultimately here on earth, we're never going to find it. But with that pursuit and that approach towards the goal, we'll find our way.
We'll get closer.
We'll get closer. And that's
on earth, we're never going to find it. Obviously, that's only in heaven when we get to be with God. But while we're here, we can do our best to keep going, take responsibility on where we're at in our communities to work towards that goal.
100%, man. And I think that's what we need to do better. All Christians need to do better, but like every American could do better. I like that, though. I think that's the best way to approach it. Well, that's another Sunday night conversation for us. Let us know what you liked about this conversation. Leave us a comment below what else you'd like to see us talk about.
Yeah, any other topics you want us to hit on? Anything you liked, didn't like? I don't mind getting criticized a little bit. We get criticized in the comments every once in a while.
What's criticism?
I don't know. We got a few of those messages.
We got critics out there? People don't like what we do?
Some people don't.
Huh. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I thought everybody loved us.
Yeah. I thought we were perfect. Speaking of them, that's called sarcasm.
Yes.
Well, hey, I hope y'all have a great week.
Yeah, and God bless you guys.
And God bless y'all.